a while. I didn't intend to take a month off, but it just sort of happened. I had a very stressful beginning to last month and end to the month before that. I was had some stuff happen in work, and then I got ill, like to the point where I had to take time off work, and I've never had to take a sick day, so took some time off for that, and then just needed to have a full reset, which I feel like I've done. So I'm gonna try and get back into posting. This should be going up after maybe 2 videos, so this should be like the 3rd video since I've been back posting, which means it'll either be the end of April or the beginning of May by the time you're watching this. As I'm filming it, it's currently the 10th of April. It is a Friday, which is a weird time to be starting a video. I've just finished, well, I say I've just finished work. I finished work at 4:30. It's now 8 o'clock, but I did just watch an episode of Call the Midwife. Yeah, random update. In the last month, I've watched so much Call the Midwife. So that's what I've been doing while I've not been filming or editing or uploading videos. Also, another update, if you've seen my other videos, I have a fringe now. I decided to cut it in the other day and I really quite like it. So yeah, that's just another update. Basically this weekend, I'm treating it as like a reset, refresh. I've got some things planned. So tomorrow I'm going to the theatre. I've not done a solo theatre trip this year, and I think that might be why I'm feeling a little bit wonky. So I've booked, spur of the moment, booked to go and watch the BFG at Chichester Festival Theatre. I have not been to the Festival Theatre before. I've been to the Minerva, so I'm really excited to go and see a show in a different theatre. It's a show that I've had my eye on for a while. I always meant to go and see it when it was at the RSC, and then I missed that. And then I had a thought the other day, because I knew it was in Chichester, and it turns out it's closing tomorrow, so I'm going to the last performance of it, which I'm really excited about. And tickets weren't that expensive either. I think I paid £30 for my ticket, and I will insert a clip of where I end up sat. But yeah, I just wanted to do this as a bit of an introduction to this weekend. So obviously tomorrow I will be in Chichester having a wander, doing a bit of shopping, going to the theatre, probably get some nice food as well. And then Sunday I want to deep clean. I need to edit some videos and hopefully schedule them. So I think I'm going to do that this evening, and then depending on what time I finish that, I might start having a bit of a like cursory tidy up and just get stuff into about the right places, because at the moment I'm blocking my sofa, which is a nightmare situation. And I went home last weekend because it was Easter to see my family, and I still haven't unpacked from that, so I've got bags of stuff everywhere. I've got a suitcase full. Everything from this week has just ended up on my sofa, so everything needs to be put away, tidied up, hoovered, all the good stuff. So that'll probably be a little bit tonight and Sunday, and then I'm hoping that by next week I will have a bit more of a regular schedule again. If I can edit and upload these 2 videos tonight and like schedule them, that will be really helpful. And then hopefully, I'm hoping to have a bit of a sit down tomorrow as well while I'm out. I find I do good work when I'm in coffee shops, and I haven't had time to do that for a while, and I've got some things that I want to get done. So I'm going to do that as well. Some of those being like planning videos, because I think one of the biggest problems I've had the last month is I haven't really had much to talk about. Well, I've got things to talk about, but I didn't know what I was going to talk about, so I just haven't. So I need to sit down and make a plan, and then hopefully we'll be back on track. I will check back in if anything changes tonight, and if it doesn't, which I'd imagine it won't. I think the lighting's just going to get even worse than it is now, and then I'll probably go to bed. But I will check in tomorrow morning when I'm getting ready, and then when I go out. So follow along. It's going to be a bit more vloggy. A lot of my content seems to be, and I'll probably tag a bit of a show review on the end of this video as well. In what is becoming true Hannah style on this channel, the show will be closed by the time you see the review of it. I think unfortunately the same thing is going to happen to Harold Fry as well, because I went to see that last month and I've got a really lovely video of the day I went and my thoughts on it, and I was hoping to get it up, but it closed on the 16th. So I mean, if it goes up tomorrow, and I'm hoping it does, get your last minute tickets. And I'm saying that now as though that's going to have any impact, but it'll already be closed by the time you see this. I'm just rambling now, So I will leave you to it, and yeah, I'll check back in whenever. Good morning, happy Saturday. You will all be pleased to know a video went up today. I managed to get both videos that I needed to get edited last night. I have one going up today, which is the 11th of April, and I've got one scheduled for tomorrow. So this video should be going up the Saturday after that, which means it's not going to be too long from when I actually see the show this evening to when you will hear a review of it. I was going to head down to Chichester early today, but the show doesn't start until 7. As much as I love Chichester, it's not the biggest place in the world, and the weather is not what I thought it would be. I saw the weather forecast yesterday and it said it was going to be sunny and sort of 12 degrees all day, but I woke up to rain. So I'm hoping it'll just pass. It looks like the weather forecast is now saying it'll be good from about midday. So the plan is head out about midday. Before that, I need to get ready. This is not what I'm wearing. I just needed to go and pay for car parking, so I just ran out. So I need to get ready, get dressed properly. I am making myself breakfast today. I never normally make breakfast, but I'm doing bacon rolls for myself because why not? I usually end up buying breakfast on a Friday or Saturday because I'm either working from home or I have to go out and put money on the car anyway, so I just go and buy breakfast. But it's really quite lazy to buy bacon sandwiches, so I'm making breakfast for myself, which is actually quite unusual. I usually just sort of forgo breakfast entirely. So that is the plan. Yeah, I will just be chilling until sort of midday, and then I will head off because that still gives me plenty of time to have a wander, and I'll probably still be looking for things to do by the end of the day because, like I said, the show starts at 7. So yeah, I just wanted to check in this morning and say I managed to get everything done that I needed to get done last night, which was good. Right, it is now 10:15. I thought I would be more ready than I am by this point, but I just did that thing. I don't know why I'm jumping on to say this because it's got kind of nothing to do with the video, but I just did that thing where I tried on like everything in my wardrobe and I just don't like anything at the moment. I've settled on this dress. It's like a Hell Bunny 50s style dress, which I love. I wear quite a lot of these dresses just because they fit me nice and they always like fit my suit my shape. So yeah, I might have to have a proper go through of my wardrobe after. I've not done it in a while, but I just don't think that a lot of the stuff I've got actually suits me anymore. So yeah, it took me ages to figure out what to wear. I had dresses all over the place, and it doesn't really help that a lot of my dresses I also wear for work, so it felt like I was getting ready for work. So I think I definitely need to have a go through and sort of get rid of some and make a separate work and outside of work pile of things. But yeah, that's the update. I'm now going to do my makeup and sort my hair out as well. And then I will be heading off. I think I've got about an hour and a half before I need to go and either pay for more parking or leave. So yeah, I'm probably just going to go then and have a wander. Luckily, the sun is coming out. The weather is still, or the sky is still quite grey, but I've had a look and it says there's no more rain forecast for today now. So that will be good. And I will check in when I'm ready or as I'm wandering around Chichester. I don't know yet. Right, I am ready for the day. Again, sorry that the camera is wobbly. I'm using my little tripod, which is not very good. But yeah, I'm loving having a fringe because even though I've just sort of chucked my hair half up, half down, it looks like I've done more, which is always a bonus because I never have time to do my hair. Yeah, I'm just getting some finishing touches ready to go. I need to decide what I'm going to take with me because I've got some not worky bits, but like life admin bits that I want to get done today, and I always work better in cafes. I think I mentioned that in the first clip of this video. So I'm going to take my iPad with me and try and get some stuff done. This is the dress that I ended up wearing. The shop that I bought this from is actually in Chichester, so if they've got some nice sort of spring styles, I might end up buying some more. This is a Hell Bunny dress. I find it really difficult to find places that you can try Hell Bunny on. There's that place in Chichester that I'm going to go to, and there's a couple of like Blue Bananas. There's one in Cardiff and one in Newport that I've been to. but they don't always have halbunny, and I've noticed they're sort of leaning more towards piercings and like super old-fashioned now, which is great for people who love that, but for people like me who love halbunny, and halbunny's return policy is awful because you have to pay to return things even though their sizing isn't massively consistent. I kind of know where I am with it, but it still is a bit awkward if you order something and then have to pay like £5 to send it back, which I really don't think is fair when their sizing isn't that consistent, you can't try it on anywhere. So all that to say, every time I go to Chichester I end up buying something from this little independent shop because I want them to keep going. Because it's massively convenient for me to be able to try stuff on, and it's convenient for them because I'm always dropping like, I think this dress was like £80. So they're not cheap, but they last really well, and like I said, they do suit me. So yeah, that is the update. If anyone's wondering, this is the bag I'm taking today. It's a Vendula London bag. It's the Sherlock Holmes inspired one. I've got a couple of Vendula bags. I do love them. I went through a phase where they had, or they went through a phase where they had some really amazing ones. So they had like the Sherlock Holmes one. I've got their Green Library and the antique shop. The only reason I ended up with the antique shop is because we bought it for my mum and it broke. And they sent her a replacement and they didn't want the other one back. So I've got the previously broken one, but I have managed to fix it, but it's not like a super good quality fix. It's good, it looks fine from the outside, but it's kind of, they wouldn't be able to sell it again. So don't know why I'm telling you all this. You're getting a theatre review and full fashion breakdown from me today, but you know, it is what it is, and hopefully this video will be good. My most recent video, which I think I've called Side Quests in 6 days, has just gone up. So if you want to see me making a little hot drinks trolley to go in my kitchen, then head over there. It is the longest, most bitty video because it started as like a fun little idea that was going to take a night, and then it took 3 weeks and the entire period of me being ill at the beginning of last month to get sorted. And I only edited it last night, so yeah, it's up. But I make reference to it in other videos weirdly, so it had to go up before any of the others. So hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't seen it yet, head back and watch it. The day after that goes up, so Sunday, like I mentioned, there will be a theatre review going up. So you should be getting 2 theatre reviews in a row, which I'm very happy about because I was going through a bit of a theatre drought at the beginning of this year. So yeah, I think that's it for me for now. You can tell I haven't done one of these in a while because I'm so chatty. I just keep finding things to want to talk about. So we'll just see how this goes. Hello, you join me again from a slightly different angle. I'm just filming from here today because the rest of my flat is a bit of a mess and I've kind of got space here. Apologies if I keep looking to, I mean it's my right, but maybe your left, I don't know how this works. I've used the back camera on my phone rather than the front camera because the quality is better, but I don't actually know if I'm in shot. So I've got my laptop set up screen mirroring, so I'm using that as like a viewfinder. Not that that matters to anyone, but I just got back from seeing the BFG in Chichester. I wanted to film this tonight because as windswept as I look, I fully intend on sort of not doing my makeup or anything tomorrow. I just wanted to get this filmed out the way, and while I'm still sort of remembering everything, it's all fresh in my mind. I'm gonna start off with what's become a bit of a tradition when I do theatre trips, and that's showing you the bits I picked up. So obviously picked up the programme. It's got this really lovely sort of rainbowy artwork. It's lovely. And they also did a pin badge. And now I'm sort of slightly questioning my earlier statements about Chichester Festival Theatre not doing merch, because I don't think they did any for Harold Fry. But they did do pin badges. Can you see it? There we go. No? There it is. It's a wooden pin badge. It's not like an enamel one. So it was £3.50, the pin badge. Sorry, just flipped you off. £3.50 for the pin badge, and I think it was £6 for the programme, so that's really not bad in terms of merchandise. Just to sort of go through at the bottom here. So I saw this tonight, which is its last night in Chichester. It started at the RSC at the end of last year, and then it's going on to Singapore because it was in collaboration with the Singapore Repertory Theatre. So it was Stratford, Chichester, Singapore. That's quite the tour they're doing. I really enjoyed this. I don't tend to go and see plays that often just because I love a musical, but there was some really lovely music in this. It was really, a lot of it was quite sort of dancey, a little bit choreographed. There's a play in London that's been running for a couple of years, which I don't want to give any airtime to, but that always had really good word of mouth for its choreography and music. And this sort of reminded me of that, in the fact that a lot of it was, and I mean the story lends itself to it because it's, the BFG is based on a Roald Dahl book by the same name, about a big friendly giant who kidnaps an orphan called Sophie, and they sort of work together to stop the even bigger giants from eating all of the orphans in London. It's a very basic version. I'm sure if you're watching this, you've probably either read the book or seen the film, or you know the story. So it sticks really, the play stuck really strictly to what I remember of the book. I don't really remember the film. The film came out a couple of years ago and I remember going to see it, but I don't really remember that film. But I did read the book a lot growing up. And it definitely has a lot of those, it's very specifically Roald Dahl. Like everything about it is very Roald Dahl. And I thought as well, as I was watching it, I think I was being a bit stupid because I thought it really reminded me of Matilda the musical. And then I remembered that's also Roald Dahl and that's also an RSC production. So that's the reasons why it reminds me of Matilda, is because it was the same company. This just wasn't a musical. I tend to shy away from plays just because I don't know that much about them. Like with musicals, I feel like I can say something. With plays, I really don't get it. Or I don't get it as much. And I think I've just not seen enough to know like what I like, what I want to avoid. But I really enjoyed this. It was a really nice feeling in the audience because there was a lot of people of like all ages, because I think everyone grew up reading Roald Dahl. But then obviously there was a lot of families with children there. There was some groups of like older people there as well because they know the story or they go to the festival theatre or whatever. But it was just a really nice atmosphere. And the story itself is a really easy one to go along with. There's nothing too heavy in it, so you never feel at any point like it's not like a heavy evening at the theatre, which is really nice. The most impressive part about this production, and the part that sort of made me want to go and see it in the first place, is I knew they used a lot of puppets in it. And I don't like calling it a gimmick because that makes it seem like there's no reason for it to happen, but it kind of is. It's like a selling point. And they're really impressively done. Like the puppeteering is really impressive. It's sort of in the vein of Warhorse. So obviously they're puppets, but people sort of think of them as horses. And the giants in this are all puppets, and they've got like giant puppets that act with like the child actors. But they also, in some scenes, have the actors playing the giant and then puppets portraying the humans, so like the children, and there's like 2 military personnel that turn up and the Queen turns up in it. So they've got like tiny puppets of those people, but then they've also got like, there's like 3 different sizes of puppets. I was trying to keep up as we were going through, but it was really impressively done because at no point did I feel like that person's acting with a puppet. I felt like they were acting with a person, which is obviously what the point was supposed to be. But it was really, really enjoyable. I don't really know what else to say about it other than the fact I'm really glad that I went, because I only booked my ticket yesterday, even though I'd known about it for a while, and I did mean to go and see it when it was at the RSC. But I'm really glad that I booked it, and it sort of made me want to go and see more plays there now. They've got some really good ones coming up. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for tickets for them. And I can't say go and get tickets unless for some reason there's someone from Singapore watching this video, in which case I would say, yeah, go and get tickets. But it was a really enjoyable night at the theatre, and I just thought I'd pop on and say how much I enjoyed it. I've also never been to a closing night performance either. It sort of ran exactly to time, but I do think the actors at the end were sort of like, during the curtain call or the bows, were sort of playing up to the audience a little bit more, which was quite nice. It was just very celebratory. And because it's based on a children's book, everyone was just having fun. I will say, when it started, I'd sort of forgotten how out there some Roald Dahl stuff can be, and sort of the language used, and a lot of the words are made up in BFG specifically, because the whole thing is like giants don't go to school, so they speak slightly different. And that did take a little bit of getting used to. But once you sort of got past that, it was absolutely fine. Just thinking about this, I am now thinking of other sort of Roald Dahl shows that I've seen. So obviously I've seen Matilda and loved that, because that is just a really solid show. But I saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory a couple of years ago on tour, and I still stand by it was one of the most disappointing shows I've ever seen. And I think it's because that didn't lean enough into the sort of magic and weirdness of the story. And I had other problems with that, like they didn't use a set, they had just projectors in like a white box, and it was not great for a touring production. And this didn't have a lot of set. It had a couple of like rocks that came on and off, and a door and a bed, and that was about it. And there were projections at the back, but the projections were sort of integrated, so it didn't feel like it was just like a cheap way out. It was adding something. So it was like the giants looking in a window or something. It was adding to the story, rather than them just saying, oh, we don't need to do that because we can just put a projector on. So I'm really glad to see, I don't know who produced Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or what the sort of setup was there, because it is so different to Matilda and this. Like, this is very much in the Matilda vein of things, and whether it is the RSC influence, I'm not sure. But very, very good. Another random but completely unrelated thing, but kind of is related because it was in the programme, is I was sort of flicking through before the show started, which I always do, and look what I found. It's a rehearsal image from Harold Fry, and also on here basically saying, don't miss it, go and watch it. It just made me really happy, because that was the last time I was in, that was the last time I was in the theatre in Chichester, so it was nice memories. And then because I was thinking about the music from that show, and there isn't a cast album of Harold Fry, the closest I could get to it was Next to Normal, so I listened to that on the way home, which was a really good driving home soundtrack. The good thing about going to regional productions and not going to London for shows is, if I go to London for a show, chances are I'm not getting back to my flat until about 1:30 in the morning, whereas it's only just 10:10 and I'm back and I've already filmed this, so that is good. I've also got tomorrow's video is sort of processing on YouTube. It's been uploading all day, but I think because my laptop timed out and I wasn't here and I was on my phone, which has YouTube Studio on it, it's basically taken all day to upload, so hopefully everything's fine. And you will have seen a video on the 12th of April. Is it April? Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna now finish this, edit it, and maybe even upload it ready for next week. And then this week I've got a whole week to think of what next week's video is going to be. If you have any suggestions, if there's anything you'd want to see, let me know, because I'm open to suggestions. Because the last thing I want is for me to sort of lose the momentum again and not upload anything for a month, because I'm a little bit annoyed I did that because I was doing so well at uploading weekly. But yeah, if you've got any suggestions, let me know. I'll leave all the links down below for like my Instagram and my threads. That's generally where I'm most active, so follow me over there. Like the video, subscribe if you want to. Like I said, I'm going to be trying to post more now, and I will see you next week. Bye.